All right. Hello again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Metroid Inquest. Thank you, phone. Yes, this is my weird, messed up version of a Lancer tabletop RPG game set in my own weird version of the Metroid universe, and the people below me are the people that are either going to have a really great time tonight or are going to despise me for the rest of existence.
No in between, zero.
So yeah. However, buddy, announcements. There is, I think, less than a day left on. There's a Humble Bundle that just gives you a bunch of audio assets for tabletop RPGs. It's like $25 for the whole thing. Or they have smaller versions that have lots of stuff, but it is everything from like background music, sound effects. It's a lot of stuff. I picked it up today and was very happy about it. So, yeah, that was very cool. Other stuff going on in the TTRPG world right now. Can't think of anything major. You guys have any TTRPG adjacent announcements?
I only have Metroid news.
Cool.
TTRPG.
What Metroid news is going on?
It's a joke. There's no Metroid news.
That's to say, did I miss something about Metroid?
I do plan on figuring out another speed run here soon because I have to, but that hardly has anything to do with the series itself.
Well, which speedrun are you going for this time?
I haven't decided yet. I'm too fast at Prime because it has to be more than 2 hours. So I might do Echoes. Samus Returns is like too linear and boring, so I don't know.
What about just plain old Metroid 2? Like, Game Boy sound chip is just amazing and fun.
Wild that you were able to say that with a straight face.
Shortly after it got on Nintendo Switch Online, I tried playing the original Metroid 2, and I messaged Elias, or it came up in conversation like a few days later, and I'm like, oh yeah, did you know that when you get on low health in Metroid 2, it makes the most ungodly beeping noise that has ever existed? Like, it's worse than any Zelda beeping noise I've ever dealt with. And I think your response was something to the effect of, why are you playing Metroid 2? Samus Returns exists.
Yeah, yep. Good response.
But, yeah. Metroid Prime 4 is most definitely coming out next year because they said 2025, so that's a thing.
Our Metroid news update every episode. It's just like Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, still coming out next year.
Yeah.
No change in
as far as we can tell, hasn't been pushed back yet. So that's a good thing. Yeah. I guess the only other kind of announcement thing, I got a bundle recently for the One Ring 2nd edition that came with this thing called Strider Mode Guide, which is basically a guide on how to play the One Ring solo without a GM or anything like that. So I built a character on my YouTube channel live. I found a way to build a monk in the One Ring because of course I did. And I've been
whips and a playing cards.
What?
Does he have whips and a playing cards?
No, he just punches stuff. There's a heroic culture that one of their cultural virtues is, I think it's like Essence of the Bear or something like that. It gives you a couple things, one of which is your unarmed attacks you can make without a penalty. So I went, well, it's the Bernings, based on Bern from the Hobbit books, the dude that can turn into a bear.
Yes.
His people can punch stuff real hard, so I made that.
So you took a druid and turned it into a monk.
Basically, the other thing that virtue gives me is I can talk to bears. So I can punch stuff and I can talk to bears.
Monk class, Way of the Druid.
I'm good with it. So yeah, I don't know when it's going to happen, but I've been building a bunch of assets. I'm gonna try and make this solo play thing a thing, and I'm gonna put it on my YouTube channel, and I think it'll be super cool. Also, Photoshop is super fun once you get past the incredible barrier to entry that is how complicated that damn program is. Once you get past it, it's super cool. So, yeah. With that being said, I think it is time for us to return to Metroid Inquest.
Is it what? Wait, no, why do you have? What is this milk?
What milk?
Is that the is that the nasty?
Oh,
milk we
is
were
the-
talking about last time? Were you guys just waiting for that? I hate it here.
Clinky.
Hmm.
And
The-
Jody just kills me outright.
The bounty hunters have arrived at Vidius Station. Having been all individually contacted by the Galactic Federation, our group of bounty hunters met at an out-of-the-way outpost near the edge of Galactic Federation controlled space. There, they were told about a secret research station named Vidius Station that had recently fallen to space pirates. Their orders were simple. Head to the station, activate enough generators to get to the central computer core, detach it and sample storage from the station so that it can be retrieved before the space pirates get access to it. After spending a few days on the ship they have been given for this task and interacting with the AI aboard the ship, they eventually came to a ruined docking bay. Leaving their own ship to travel in their suits, they discovered the docking bay overrun with space pirates. And that is where we return. So it was supposed to fade out and it didn't. So
Immersion.
how about we get some combat going on. So the way that combat works in the Lancer Tabletop RPG, it uses a version of Popcorn Initiative. So effectively, players always go first. You guys can choose amongst yourself who wants to actually go first. And then after the players have a turn, one of the enemies will have a turn, and it will keep alternating until we are completely out of people to work. For this map in particular, the red boxes like this here and this here, those provide full or hard cover, and blue boxes like ones here provide soft cover. And if you can't tell, like, that's a space pirate right there, that's one right there. Also, you guys are currently in a 0G environment, so if you do not have some sort of propulsion system that allows you to move in 0G, all of your movement will be halved. So that being said, who would like to go first?
Does that mean I just moved one?
Yeah, unless you like double move or something like that. Unfortunately
The
for
floating
you.
tank through space.
Can I aim my gun behind me and just like...
Well, you can
Wait.
use. Well, let's talk about the stuff that you can do on your turn. So, on your turn, whomever decides to go first, you get a move, and then either you can take a full action, which, again, we have a cheat sheet in the handout section that has a list of all the full actions that you can take. Or, instead of taking a full action, you can take two quick actions. One of the quick actions that you can take is called Boost. And Boost is basically you can just move again. So for your character in particular, because you have a speed of 3, if you were to boost, instead of just giving you 2 squares to move, you could technically move 3 because each one of your moves would have an additional half square. Does that make sense?
That give me heat as well?
No. Performing 2 quick actions does not give you heat. We will talk about overcharge after we've all had a full turn of actions. Don't want to introduce too much all at once. So, again, I ask, who would like to go first?
Have maneuverability jets, which lets me hover when I move. Does that count as 0G flight and not have my speed?
Good question. I think it does. Where did you get them from again? It was a thingy-ma-thing, right? It's a system?
The core system passive. I think I get it from the Duskwing frame.
Let's look at Dusk Shing. Yeah. You know what? Because you have maneuverability jets, I will say yes. You can move your full speed. I don't know if that's exactly how it's supposed to work, but it works for me.
Well, seeing space pirates and an excuse to kill space pirates, I will thrust forward. Six squares I get for free.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There. And then, okay, it says full action is attack with 2 weapons or a single super heavy weapon. So does that mean I cannot attack twice with the same weapon?
Correct. If you use the barrage full action, you have to use 2 different weapon mounts.
Okay. Yeah, alright. Well, I will, so with my frame and actions here, I can attack once with a main weapon and once with an aux weapon.
Yes, if you attack you basically attack using a single mount, and if that mount has an aux weapon on it, you can attack with both the main weapon and the aux weapon, or if it has two aux weapons, you can attack with both of them. But they have to be on the same mount.
They have to be on the same mount if I barrage, or they can't be on the same mount. Sorry.
Okay, so if you barrage, you can attack with two different mounts.
That's what I thought. Okay. You said something about the same mount.
Yeah, and then the way that aux weapons work is if you have a mount that has either two aux weapons on it or a main and an aux weapon on it, when you attack with that mount, you attack with the main weapon, and you can also attack with the aux weapon as part of that same attack.
Right.
So theoretically, if you did a barrage and you have two like aux mounts, the first one you would attack with both aux weapons, and the second one you would attack with both aux weapons, giving you a grand total of 4 attacks. Does that make sense?
I see. Yeah, it does. Okay. So I believe I'll have to double check my frame here. I don't know if I have that on hand. But I believe I have 2 mounts here, one with a main and then one with 2 auxes.
Yes.
So if I take the barrage full action here, I can attack once with all 3 of them?
Effectively, yes.
Okay.
Because everything,
Well,
all
let's
of
do
your
that.
attacks are based, yeah, all of your attacks are based on using a mount. So whatever you have on that mount, you're going to be able to use.
Okay. Cool. Well, let's so moved up 6 squares there, and we'll do a full action of barrage here in space.
Okay. So, 2 things to be aware of. Your sensors on your desk wing is basically your sight range. So you can only select a target within your sensor range, which for this...
That says sensor 10, right?
Yep, so within 10 squares.
Okay.
And then also each of your weapons will have a range to them as well. So if I'm counting correctly, you have more than enough range to hit that dude there.
It says 11 squares.
Oh, that's 11 squares. Never mind.
But
2, 3,
I believe
4, 5,
if
6,
I...
7, 8, 9, 10,
Wow,
11. Yeah, he's just
No matter how I
barely
shake it.
outside.
Well, okay. Well, in that case, I can do a boost as a quick action and a skirmish attack with 1 mount.
Mm-hmm.
So the boost gives me another 6, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's 1, 2, 3, 6. And that lets me be out of 0G, or is there no gravity here?
There's going to be no gravity for this entire combat encounter.
Oh, fun. Alright. Floating in space. Now I will attack just with the main weapon,
Okay.
which is my burst launcher. It is both accurate and arcing. Not that matters too much here. It does say range 15,
Mm-hmm.
but I wouldn't have been able to use the full range because my sensor was too low. Is that right?
Correct. You're still limited by the sensors of your mech, despite whatever the range is.
Unless I wanted to like shoot blindly or something. Would be a weird custom action thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so for now, shooting with my main weapon here. How do I do that?
Fantastic question. So, attacks, like everything else, are going to be a d20 roll. You do get to add your grit to it.
It's 1, right?
Mm-hmm. And
Lovely how grid is on a separate tab.
gotta love it. Just remember you have a +1 to basically most of your rolls if you're not using a trigger or something
Essentially
like
a
that.
proficiency bonus. This
Mhm.
is arbitrarily added. Yeah. Okay.
So,
So d20 +1, and that's to hit.
yep. And then you will be
Okay.
trying to go against their evasion.
You said it was accurate, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
That gives
This
you a
is
plus D6. I think.
great.
Yeah. So if you get any accuracies, you get to add a d6 to your roll.
Okay, so the tag on my weapon is accurate.
Mm-hmm. Which gives you 1 accuracy. one
Okay.
d6 to add to it. Yep. That's what it means.
All right, so 17 + 1 is 18 + 6 is 24. Does that hit this one space pirate?
Yes. And in addition to that,
Oh, it's above 20.
if you roll a 20 or higher, it counts as a critical hit. Which really isn't going to mean a whole lot for this dude, because all that's going to happen to him is he's going to turn into red mist.
Excellent. But if he hadn't, he would have also become impaired, because my weapon does that on a critical hit.
Yes. It's very, very nice.
Death is the most severe impairment.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
It's a valid point.
It's still impaired. It's still impaired.
So, you guys watch as Trevlin, or Tevlin, whatever his name is, starts with a T, rushes forward, and you can see the jump jets on the back of his suit activate as he rushes forward quickly. He pulls out this grenade launcher, Lila-like weapon, shoulders it, and you watch as this happens, and it goes over, and then and one of the space pirates just kind of disintegrates. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Just sort of quickly look around and put on my intercom. Who's next? Broadcasting to the platform.
Sure. Well, the dude next to you is going to say, I am. So this space pirate right here pulls out his rifle that, despite space pirates always using little lightning bolt things, this is going to do kinetic damage, because of course it does.
If I may ask, did we get a description of what these guys look like last session?
I don't know if I did, but I'll give them to now. They look like kind of your standard space pirate, very kind of praying mantis, armored praying mantis-esque creatures, because you guys are...
Sabesian.
Say again?
They look vaguely Sabesian.
Yeah.
Interesting.
As you and they're all covered in armor, because you're all in the vacuum of space right now, and they're all carrying these kind of, I don't want to say primitive, kind of weak-looking, just kind of standard rifles. Not the generally the Zabesian flavor space pirates have these claws that have energy weapons in the middle of them that they use. These ones aren't using their kind of standard energy weapons. They have these really basic looking just like single shot rifles that they're using right now. And the one right here is going to take a shot at you, Tevlin. And that is a 17 versus your evasion.
That hits.
All right, so it strikes you. You take 5 points of kinetic damage. Now, if you have any armor, you would subtract the amount of damage that you take. You would subtract your armor from the amount of damage that you take.
I don't believe I have armor with my...
Your armor is 0.
Space.
Yeah.
Where's my armor? Is it on another tab?
It's on your character sheet, let's look here. Should be on your mech tab. Heat, hull, speed. Where is your armor?
I see it on my pilot tab for pilot armor.
Why is the repair? Oh yeah, right under repair.
Is it hull? The HUL?
Yeah,
Oh, no,
hull,
no,
and then
I
right
see.
after
Okay,
hull,
I
it
got
says armor.
Wow, it was right there and I didn't see it. Yeah, okay. You said 7 damage? 5 damage?
5 damage.
5 damage? Who's out?
Who's no? Oh, all right, and that ends. That's Space Pirates turn. Who's next?
I volunteer as tribute.
All right.
Okay, so I believe I want to move, I think, and then do 2 quick actions.
Okay.
I think. All right, so I have an EVA module,
Okay.
so I believe I get to move my full speed in space.
Yepers.
Okay, so, and my speed is 6. So I'm just gonna go in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Straight ahead, because I have no fear. For some strange reason. And I don't think I have anybody within... Oh! There is this one guy here.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know where all the pirates are?
Yeah, you guys
Since they are on the map?
Yeah. Anything on the map you guys can see.
Okay.
Again, your limitation will be the range of your weapons and your sensors range.
Well, my sensor's range is 20.
Very nice.
And I have an Oracle LMG, which has a range of 15.
Cool.
And it is an aux weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So with him having full cover, hiding behind that red box.
It's called hard cover. And
hard cover.
Effectively, what that means is you get 2 difficulties when you attack it. So, difficulties and accuracies stack, but instead of adding multiple dice to your roll, you basically roll, like for this would be 2 difficulties, you roll 2d6, take the highest of those 2 rolls, and subtract it from your roll. Does that make sense?
Okay. I think so.
Okay.
What if I were to try a tech attack?
I don't believe tech attacks are actually affected by cover.
Okay. Then I will do instead of doing the 2 quick attacks, I'm just going to do a tech attack against him.
Okay.
Since I'm basically like trying to hack into his system to do this marker light thing, would that mean that I get to use my trigger?
No. Triggers
okay.
are entirely non-combat. In combat, you don't use triggers at all.
Okay. Then I will make a tech attack against him. So I just add my grit to a d20.
Actually, on your pilot, you should, or on your core. What core do you have again? Or what frame do you have again?
I'm using the swallowtail.
Swallowtail. So on your frame, under systems, there should be a thing that says tech attack.
+1.
So that's your tech attack bonus.
Okay.
And in addition to that, I think you add your grit to that as well.
Okay. On my sheet, my tech attack is +4 because I have systems.
Okay, yeah.
Plus, I have 3 in systems. So
yeah, your tech attack would be +4 then.
Okay.
And then, real quick, action economy wise, you used a single move, and now you're making a tech attack as a full action or a quick action.
I believe this is a full action.
So, the version of tech attack that uses your full action is called a full tech, and it actually allows you to perform 2 quick tech actions, unless the specific what tech attack are you using?
I'm sorry. I'm using the marker light system. Make a tech attack against a character within sensors and line of sight. Which I don't know if this technically qualifies as line of sight. Now that I
Yep,
read that.
still counts. Hardcover
Okay.
does not break line of sight.
It just makes it harder to hit.
Mm.
Okay. On a success, they take 2 thermal, lock on, and cannot benefit from soft cover until the lock on is cleared. Additionally, once before the start of your next turn, when an allied character hits your target, you may declare as a reaction that they have hit a weak spot. If it wasn't already, the attack becomes a critical hit.
Oh, cool. And then right there on the marker light, it says specifically full tech. So that takes your full. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Just making sure that we understood
Yep.
the action economy. So yeah, go ahead and make your tech attack.
I got a 10 on the dice, so 14 total.
All right. What is their tech defense? E defense is lower than that. So, you guys watch as Roshenko moves forward, and surprisingly enough, you don't see Roshenko readying any of their weapons, but they do kind of raise a hand, and you guys can hear a little bit of kind of static radio interference, and you watch as the space pirate here. Does it inflict a condition of some sort?
I believe lock on.
Lock on, okay. We are going to call lock on. Let's call it that. So you guys now, in all of your heads up displays, you now have this kind of blinking marker on to the top of this dude, and they also take 2 points of heat damage. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
I believe that is all I can do.
All right. Then we are going to have this one here that you just marked is basically just going to get their rifle ready and do nothing because nobody is close enough for them to shoot and they don't want to get closer to you. So, who's next?
Well, Cheesy has like a 2-hour loop of ancient Terran music known as Eurobeat playing in his sound system.
Okay.
I will ask, the Type 1 flight system, does that work
Yep.
here or yes? Okay.
You basically need something other than just the standard armaments built into your suit.
I'm going to boost as I move. So I'm using a quick action in my movement to get to there. Just checking ranges. Yeah, so I basically get there and then I get ready because no one's in the range of my like secondary weapon.
Okay.
And that's pretty much what I'm gonna do.
Okay. You, because you only used one quick action, you theoretically have another quick action that you can do.
Yeah.
So theoretically, you could prepare, which is to hold a quick action for a specific trigger. So if somebody gets close enough for you to actually shoot, you could skirmish.
Sure, I'll prepare a skirmish.
Okay. Or if there's any tech attacks you want to do, that would be another quick action.
Nope, I am bad at tech attacks.
Gotcha. All right. So that ends that. And everyone up front has done something. This dude here is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to move there. And that's the end of his turn. Who wants to go next?
I can, I guess.
Okay.
So I don't have anything for EVA. So I have 5 here. So would that be 2 or 3?
For just your normal move, it'll be 2. If you boost, I will give you a total of 5 movement. Because it just makes it easier at that point.
Yeah, I will move to 5.
Okay.
No. And I don't see anyone in range of me on the map. So I'm ready to move.
All right. After that, this dude here is going to move there. Brick, you're the last one to go.
All right. Well, guess what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna use my action and my boost action to move 3 spaces.
Cool.
1, 2, 3.
What's
So,
Yeah.
behind the rest of you, you guys see the massive mech that is Brick's mech just slowly drifting forward.
Rick is just eating Doritos, and he's just like playing Girl from Ipanema on his sound system. He's just like, you're in for it now until I get there.
You guys see like a little
You
head
guys are screwed.
Jimmy as they're going. And then basically the rest of the Space Pirates get to go. So this guy is going to move up here. This one's going to move from soft cover to hard cover there.
I'm trying to learn conversational Eddie Kuhn.
This guy's going to boost to get there. And this guy is going to move over here. And he's going to get soft cover from this little mover mech thing there.
Allegedly.
And I think that's everybody. So, we go back to the top of the order. And again, you don't actually have to...
I'm not even on your screen on your damn screen.
Yep, you're just out there. So, just like before, anyone can choose to go first. It always starts with the players. So if somebody else wants to go first, they can. Otherwise, who wants to go?
Just presume I'm going last.
I was gonna say I can. Eddie can go again. I'm gonna be dumb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Don't let that stop you. That's never stopped me.
These things here are large generators that can provide hard cover if anyone wants to hide behind them.
Well, So I moved my full speed forward. I would like to target this guy in the corner
Okay.
who is hiding behind the soft cover. I'd like to target him with another marker light full tech attack.
Okay. So go ahead and make your tech attack.
I believe that's a 13.
13 definitely hits.
Okay, so they are now marked, which means he, because I'm using the marker light, he does not benefit from that soft cover anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I don't know if I can remind people about my talents.
Go ahead.
One of my talents is particularized because I'm a spotter. When an allied target that is adjacent to me attacks a target and consumes lock on, they may roll twice and choose the high or choose either result.
Are you?
So if somebody comes next to me and then shoots somebody that has a lock on, they get to roll twice and take the higher or either result.
Are you
Okay.
here?
So I am this person here.
Oh, there's someone. I didn't see that. Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're a little bit hard to see there, but that's them right there.
A little
Yeah,
mosquito. on
that's
the-
that's my invisibility cloak kicking in already.
So, to add another level of complexity,
Right.
one of the other things that you can do is you can do what's called overcharging, which basically allows you to get an additional quick action, but it costs a varying level of heat. The first time you use it, it costs you it just makes you take 1 point of heat damage, and then the more times you use it between I think it's a full rest, their version of it, it gets higher and higher. It starts at a 1 heat, and then a D3, and then I think a D6 is the highest it goes to. Give me a second here, and I'll tell you. So yeah, it goes 1 heat, then a D3, then a D6. So every time you use overcharge, you would take the heat damage, and then you get a free quick action. The other thing that's unique about it, normally you can only take any action once per round. If you use overcharge, it allows you to take an additional quick action, and that quick action can be something that you've done already. So you can overcharge to boost, to basically get 3 moves in a turn, or you can overcharge and skirmish even if you've already skirmished that turn, things like that. So, did you want to overcharge or anything this turn, or are you good with where you are?
You know what? Just for fun, I will overcharge, and I will use my Lotus projector, which is a quick action drone, to launch a set of scout drones over in this general area.
Okay.
They get to then report back anywhere within sensors and line of sight. It emits I believe it's a 2 square field with the following effects. The current location, HP, evasion, E-defense, and heat of all characters within the affected area. Characters can't hide. They can't be invisible while in the affected area.
Let me get you a token for that. Come on, give me something. We'll use this. So it's anywhere within sensors. Where do you want to put your drone?
I'm just gonna like to drop it right there.
Okay. So anything within 2 squares of this thing. The HP, evasion, E defense, and heat. And they can't hide. Okay. So the 3 targets that you have here, or you can't see this one, but They have evasion is 8. What else do you find out about it?
HP and I think temperature.
Oh yeah, and heat. So evasion of 8, hit point of 1, and they all have a heat cap of 8. I think you're only supposed to learn the heat, but I'm fine with you knowing that they have a heat cap of 8.
And E defense.
Oh, and E defense is also 8.
Okay.
They like 8s.
All right, so I will relay to everybody, guys. These guys are pretty soft. They've only got a hit point each. They're not that evasive, and they're not too E defensive either.
That explains why I didn't have to roll for my gun attack.
Yep. So that'll be the end of my turn.
All right.
I say in character.
After your turn, the one that you marked before is going to take a shot at you with his rifle. So, does an 8 beat your evasion?
I do not believe so. My evasion is 10.
All right, so and it goes off without hitting you. And I think that's all he's going to do. Unless, is this a... Oh, that's what it'll do. After taking a shot at you, he's going to kind of reload, and you watch as you didn't realize they do have a tiny little like laser sight on these rifles, and he goes and you see the laser sight kind of get you, and you suddenly start seeing your systems start to act a little bit just strange. You are currently impaired.
Okay.
Laser.
Does my E defense doesn't do anything against that?
Nope. This just is. There's no attack action. Like, this isn't a. It's just a trait that they can do. Is they become impaired, and it gives them a reaction if you do certain things.
Okay, so I am now technically impaired, you say?
Yes.
Okay.
So that ends that. Who's going to go next then?
Well, this is for your whole lock-on thing. I'm gonna activate a protocol.
Okay.
Core siphon.
All right.
I drain power from other systems so that my first attack gets a bonus.
All right.
I'm gonna move there.
Now, doesn't that protocol require you to not move? Or am I thinking
Core
of a different
siphon?
one?
No, you're thinking of a different one.
Oh, sorry. What's your core again?
I am Death's Head.
Death's Head. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. I was thinking of a different one. Cool. So yeah, you guys watch as like the sensor units on Cheesy's suit start kind of lighting up. Who'd you like to attack?
Yes, so I will be so the first attack is going to be with my prototype weapon. So Cheesy has a like integrated mount he's custom built onto Death's Head. And there's just a it's a launcher, as I'm going to launch it at the one that's locked on.
Okay. So with how locked on works, if you want to use activate the lock on, it gives you an accuracy
Yeah.
to that. Since you already have an accuracy, it would mean that you would roll 2d6 and take the higher of those two rolls and add it to your.
And then I believe because of how his spotter works, I roll 2d20 and I take the higher as well.
Yes, if you're next to him.
Okay. And then Death's Head adds +1 to all ranged attacks.
So you
Okay,
would
cool.
roll your d20, add 1 from your grit, 1 from Death's Head, and then add the d6 that is highest from that. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right.
22.
22. Another crit, which is really, really great. You guys watch as Cheesy kind of moves up and everything starts going. This large kind of grenade launcher built into. With your mech, where do you see this grenade launcher? Is it like a shoulder-mounted thing? Is it in your chest? Is it attached to like your arm? Where do you see it being attached?
Like, just because of the shape of Death's Head, I kind of picture it being on the top of it.
Okay. So you guys, and do you want? Because technically, you're in a power suit, not technically a mech. Do you want your power suit to be kind of the quadrupedal thing that Death's Head looks like?
Because I'm so small, yes.
Okay.
As an etiquette.
So, you guys watch as the Cheesy's suit kind of moves forward, and then you watch as this kind of launcher attached to the top of it just launches this thing off and just absolutely demolishes one of these space pirates.
And then my other quick action is going to be a boost. And the thing I didn't mention before, but I did tack it on, is for every turn I use my flight system, I take 2 heat, but I'm still okay.
Mm-hmm. And now that you have ground beneath you, you don't have to use your flight system move around. It's still 0G. But if you don't want to use your flight system, you don't have to.
Yeah, it's just I had to use it this
Mhm.
round, so I still take the 2 heat.
Okay. Cool. So, at the end of that, the dude here next to it, where did you go? You're right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He's not particularly fond of his odds of hitting you, so he's going to take another pot shot at the dude that marked his friend. Does a 13 hit your evasion, Rishenko?
Sorry, say that again?
Does a 13 hit your evasion?
Yes.
So another shot, but this one goes true, smacks you right in the shoulder. You take 5 kinetic damage. And again, if your mech has any armor, you would reduce that by the amount of your armor.
It has 0 armor,
Cool.
actually.
So you take 5 points of damage. And anyone, if you guys get to the end of your hit points, let me know, and we will start talking about how structural damage works.
Okay.
So, that ends his turn. Who's next?
I'll go again.
Okay.
And I'll boot myself again.
All right.
And and then pilot, right?
That is Tevlin.
Oh,
Yeah, that's Tevlin right there.
So it's staggering from a blow.
Yeah. If you want to take a shot at him, you can. I don't think it will go very well. You are all bounty hunters, so morals are kind of up to you guys.
We know how the end of this mission's gonna go.
Yep, anything with an X on it is just a dead dude. But there is a dude here, and then obviously these are the other two closest dudes.
Again.
Right here is one.
Uh,
There's not really. I probably should have used different colors for these guys
yeah,
because they blend in.
are blended. Doesn't look like anyone in my way.
All right.
What was I to tell?
Did you want to overcharge and get a few more? Because you could boost again with an overcharge. And that might get you close enough maybe to this dude. I don't know what the range on your systems are off the top of my head.
It wasn't longer when I haven't had.
Okay. So, up to you.
They're all over time.
Okay. So go ahead and move your additional 2 spaces.
So,
And then remember to record a single point of heat damage.
they move. But the way here are. Okay. And let's see.
If you use the measuring tool, you can
Yeah.
actually measure to see if anyone's within range. And everybody's a different color. So I think from where you are, theoretically that dude's 9 squares away now. That dude's 9 squares. That dude's 9 squares. So you have 3 different targets if you wanted to do a skirmish.
Yeah, I'll come in with my let's
Okay?
and I'll go out the guy, I guess.
Okay? So go ahead and make your attack roll.
And that considered a most weapon, I don't know.
I don't believe unless it specifically on the weapon itself has the smart weapon tag. I don't believe it would be considered a smart weapon.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, so yeah, then it does qualify as a smart weapon.
So let me be 6 of the 20 and my grip.
Yep, which is just 1.
Uh, 14.
14 definitely hits. And you were aiming for this dude, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Nexus weapons are effectively a little like swarms of drones. So, what do you imagine, like visually? How do you imagine this particular weapon working? Do you fire like a bunch of little like bee things at them? Is it like a cloud of energy? How do you imagine it?
Yeah, like, yeah, both of my mini drones that fire like mini water.
Okay. And do you imagine them like coming out of like your shoulders? Do you have like a little launcher on your arm that shoots them? Where do you see them coming from your mech?
Yeah, maybe, yeah, those are water.
Okay. So you guys watch as Fleming moves forward, and you guys watch as little bits, kind of little waves of heat are starting to come off of his suit for just a brief moment as he pushes his suit a little bit further. And as he gets to his kind of final spot on this turn, you watch him just kind of do like a bodybuilder pose, and you watch this like spray of machines just kind of launch from his shoulders and instantly fly forward towards this dude. As soon as they get there, they kind of run directly towards him, spread out, and just go. And you see all these little explosions there, and the space pirate lies dead. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
No.
All right. Then we're going to have this dude from back here move up here so he still has hard cover. And then he's still out of range. So he's going to stay there. All right. Who's next?
I think I am.
All right.
Not that we need to or should retcon this, but I have a flicker field projector.
Okay.
Whenever I boost or make a standard move, it projects holographic patterns around me and leaving after images and stuff, and
Okay.
I count as invisible the next time I'm attacked.
Cool. So
Something to keep in mind.
we will remember that.
I forgot I had that on my sheet when I went first, and I forgot like I had like most of the stuff on my sheet.
Real quick, I'm gonna give you something to represent your holograms because they do stuff.
Some of them do.
So we will go. This works well. So give me a second to create a character sheet for that.
It's fitting that you can see my echoes better than my actual suit.
All right. So theoretically, in the journal, you should see a thing that says hologram. So anytime you leave one, you can just place it.
Cool. All right. Okay. So, question, because I'll completely forgot about this. Tech attacks are, as long as I have the mech system to make one of those, I can make a tech attack. Are those also called invade? Quick.
Invade is one of the quick tech attacks you can do.
Okay.
So
I think-
it is a tech attack. Not all tech attacks are invade.
Okay. Well, let me take a look. Also, SP is just how much it costs for me to add it onto my sheet, right? There's
Yeah.
no, okay.
Yeah, that's just how much it's how many system points it takes for it to be installed on your mech, but it's not
Right.
a thing that you burn every time you use it.
Okay. And I assume the range on tech attacks equals my sensor range,
Yeah, for the most part.
unless stated otherwise. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well. All right. So this guy has these. They both have full cover. It looks like.
Mm-hmm. which affects ranged attacks, but does not affect tech attacks.
Right. And I know this guy is here because he took a shot at me, right?
Yeah, you can see all of them. Hard cover just means that it's more than like soft cover can be anything like some trees in the way. Smoke also gives hard cover or soft cover. Hard cover is there's something physical there that they can kind of dodge behind, but it doesn't mean that they're invisible or break line of sight or something like that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well. Okay. This is 9. That's within sensor. 11. Generator. Yeah. Why don't we go there? All right. So. Also, point of order, my Harlequin coat on the Duskwing means I'm invisible during my turn, but I reappear at the end.
Okay. So you guys watch as
Technically, this all would have happened before, but I
Yeah. We're learning. We're all new to this system. So you guys watch as Tevlin just blinks out of existence for a second, and you can do your cool stuff.
Blink. I'm going to do standard move, or that's 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Standard move for 5, which I believe standard move creates a come on, duplicate. So that I blink and then there's a version of me here.
Yeah.
And then while I'm here, I'm gonna do the this is quick tech, so I should be able to do 2 of these. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to do a barrage, then you can attack with 2 different mounts.
Right, but if I want to do the Shrike Code quick attack, that is essentially going to be within 10. Oh, I can hit them both. Beautiful, beautiful, fantastic. 2 quick tech attacks, 1 on each of these. The Shrike Code. Until the end of the target's next turn, they first take 2 heat whenever they attack.
Okay.
And that's the options for evade. But that's in addition to making the attack, is that right? Or...
So you would still make an invade attack.
You're right.
And then if you succeed, the way that invade works... Let me get to the...
Yeah, I tried to look it up, but it was...
So invade is on page 70. When you invade...
on 106.
Make a tech attack against a character within sensors and line of sight. On a success, the target takes 2 heat, and you choose one of the invasion options available to you. And so...
Control F didn't find page 70. Oh, here it is. Okay, yeah, okay.
So if you succeed on the tech attack, they're going to take 2 heat damage, and then in addition to that, you could use that Shrike so that they take an additional 2 heat anytime they try to attack.
And Shrike Code would be in substitution of
Fragment Signal.
Got it. Okay. Were these lock on and scan and invades on the quick sheet, and I didn't see them.
The quick combat reference. I think it just mentions quick tech on there.
Okay. All right. Well, I got it now. All right. Okay. So roll d20 plus. Does my grit apply to tech attacks?
Yes. Grid applies to everything, I believe. On your character sheet, it should auto-populate what your tech attack is.
Oh, base 1 plus 2 with sis.
Yeah.
For a total of 3. So d20 plus 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 10 plus 3, 13. The
13.
closer one.
So closer one, yes. So we're going to call that green is your Shrike code. And it takes 2 points of heat damage.
Whenever they attack until the end of the target's next turn.
Yeah. Well, it also takes 2 heat just from the evade. So it takes 2 heat, and then it'll also take more heat if it tries to attack.
Oh, from like right away?
Yeah, invade does
yes,
2
okay,
points of
yeah,
heat damage.
okay. Yeah.
Okay, so that was one quick tech. What else you want to do?
Second quick tech to the guy right behind him. I should be barely within sensor range.
Okay. And I
13
think,
plus 3 is 16.
and real quick, again, when you do quick actions, I think you normally can only do one.
I can only do one. You're right.
However,
sorry.
I want to see if there's...
I believe you can do 2 quick tech. They just can't be the same
Yeah.
quick tech.
Right. right.
So if you want to do a different quick
okay, so I
tech...
can't do that. Yeah. That's my favorite type of thing. So instead, I will.
Otherwise, if you want, you can
attack
skirmish
with
as well.
one weapon. Yeah, skirmish attack with one weapon.
Okay.
And if my weapon is arcing, does that affect cover or hidden?
That is a fantastic question. And
Or smart. One of mine is smart as well.
I obviously, I mean, I know what that means. But I'm just going to check. It just means that you don't need line of sight, but it's still affected by cover for arcing.
Okay.
For smart,
Smart. Use e-defense instead of evasion.
yeah. So yeah,
Okay,
smart
so
weapons
not-
just...
nothing about cover. So how does hard cover? Does that mean I can't attack them?
No,
or does
hard
it-
cover just means you have 2 difficulty on the attack. So you roll 2d6, take the higher of those 2 rolls, and subtract it from your d20 roll.
Okay. All right. Well, in that case, I'm going to use the burst launcher as my skirmish attack.
Okay?
The fact that it's accurate hopefully will offset the.
Yep. Difficulty and accuracy kind of cancel each other out. So 1 accuracy means you have only 1 difficulty now.
Depending on the dice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's +1 to this attack, and then all the other stuff. 9 plus 1 is 10.
Okay.
Now, 2d6.
Just
take the
1d6.
highest
Because again, you had the accuracy, so it canceled
No,
out one of them.
Oh, I thought you said difficulty. You take the higher.
So, so with difficulty, it started with 2 difficulty because they have hard cover. However, you got an accuracy from something, so that canceled out one of the difficulties. So now it's only difficulty 1.
So now, no matter what it is, I use that number. I would have to use 2 accuracy to completely cancel out the difficulty.
Yes.
Whereas if I did not have accuracy, I would roll 2 for the difficulty, but take the highest anyway.
Yes. So you're only ever going to be adding or subtracting a single d6. Additional levels of accuracy or difficulty just require you to roll effectively with advantage on that d6. So you roll multiple dice and take the higher of them, but you will never be adding more than a d6 or subtracting more than a d6 from your roll.
Okay, so no matter what I lose on this dice,
Yeah.
2, which brings it down to 8.
Which is exactly what you need to hit.
Beautiful.
So who are you shooting at again?
The guy behind the
This one?
the one who just moved up, thinking he was smart.
Yeah.
So yeah, leave an echo behind, and at the end of my turn, both of us kind of flicker into solid dexterity. One guy
Okay.
just dies, and the guy in front is having a rough day.
So you guys watch as Tevlin kind of blinks out of existence for a second, but then kind of reappears in this weird kind of static choose your fighter pose. And then you watch as one of the space pirates, you can see like their systems start to get a little bit kind of wonky, and you can start seeing heat rising from them. And then the other one, you just watch as seemingly from nowhere, you just see this explosion of red, and then they drop down dead. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Yeah,
You theoretically can overcharge if you wanted to do another quick action.
So because I did standard mood, I'm still visible until I'm attacked.
As soon as you end your turn, you would be visible again.
From Harlequin Cloak, yes, but because I did a standard move, my flicker field projector means I remain in an invisible state until the next time I'm attacked. Is that right?
It's a fantastic question, and of course I know that. So give me a second here. Whenever you boost or make a standard move, check is invisible the next time you're attacked. Yeah. That's what flicker field projectile would do. So yeah, you're still, like, people just can't see you.
I took a hit. I'm just going to exit reality for a minute.
Okay. So is that your turn?
I think so. I'm just trying to remember all the effects going on here.
All right. This dude is going to move up. He's going to push him out of the way so that he can get into cover. Still thinking that this is a good idea, because obviously that guy, he just peeked out of cover too much. So this other guy's like, no, I'll just move the body and I'll be perfectly safe.
Could never happen.
Brick, what you want to do?
Oh, gee, I don't know. Just a plethora of choices. Oh, I know. I'll do an action. I'll do a boost. 1, 2, 3. All the time I'm moving, I hear the squeak, 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 chitter, chitter, squeak, squeak. I hope when you come, the weather will be climate. Weather will be clement. So I'm learning my conversational etiquette. I slowly drift towards the station.
All right, I think
See you again 40 minutes later.
I think as far as people being units that haven't moved yet, this dude's going to move forward, push that dude on top of the box, thinking it gives him better cover. And he's going to take a pot shot at this dude.
No.
That's a 4.
That does not hit.
Psh, completely misses. This dude here in soft cover, thinking he's safe, is also going to take a pot shot at you. That gets up to a 14.
That will hit.
All right. So you take 5 points of kinetic damage.
Now, hypothetically speaking, if I only have 2 hit points left.
So the way that this works, you take the 2 hit points of damage, and then you take 1 point of structure damage. And then...
and since I am taking structure damage, I get to roll a d6 because of my sweet custom paint job.
Mm-hmm.
And I rolled a 2, so that doesn't do anything.
Cool. So now you actually get to roll a d6 again. You get to roll on the structure damage table. So basically the way structure damage works is once you've taken enough damage, it starts affecting your mech's systems and everything like that. So what will happen is you'll roll in the structure damage to the table. We'll resolve that, and then you are returned to full hit points, and you take the rest of the damage that you would have taken from that attack. So, what'd you roll for your d6?
I rolled a 5,
Okay.
which I believe emergency systems kick in and stabilize your back, but it's impaired until the end of your next turn.
Yep. So,
Which,
go ahead.
sorry, I believe I was already impaired.
Yeah. So you can't be double impaired. And that's really the best that you can. That's the best thing that could happen to you. You have a grand total of 4 structure points. And if you get down to 0 structure points, your mech is destroyed, or your suit is destroyed. And the only thing that you can do is leave the suit to continue acting in combat. So, excuse me. So yeah, because you didn't have enough hit points to take the full brunt of that attack, you take the 2 hit points of damage, do the structure, and then you take the remaining 3 hit points of the damage.
I am now regretting. You said I take how many structural damage?
You only take 1 point of structure damage, but
Okay.
because there's 3 hit point of damage left, you also take 3 hit points of damage from your next pool of hit points. Because once you take structure damage, you return to full hit points, and then you start counting down again. So
Okay.
basically, your hit points, you technically have 4 times as many hit points as it shows. It's just each time you get down to take a structure damage, something very bad can happen. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Cool. That's all the bad guys. Who wants to go first?
Oh
wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Seeing Grushenko, the one that I credit to saving me, like take a hit. Even with danger zone flaring because I'm over half heat at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Cheesy will move. He's going to Core Siphon at the start of his turn again.
Okay.
Moves there. So barrage with the Cyclone. What is it called? Cyclone Hurricane Rifle
Mm-hmm.
against the soft cover one that shot him.
Okay. Which doesn't benefit from soft cover right now.
No. Because of Core Siphon, I have double accuracy on him.
Okay. So go ahead and make that a tit attack for your full action.
23.
23. Yeah, he is red mist.
And then as I'm going to overcharge. I take a point of heat, but I'm still not at my cap, so I'm okay still.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the little arms on Death's head reaches up, grabs a grenade, which pulls the pin at the same time, and tosses it here.
Okay.
Those two have to make agility, but they take damage whether they pass or fail.
So because they are basically minions, they actually won't take damage if they fail because they only have 1 hit point. However, well, their agility is actually not the worst thing that they have. What's the target number? It should be on your mech.
Where do you see that?
On... You are... Death's Head there. So... Where are you? So, on the thing, it should say save target. If I go...
Oh, save target 10.
Yeah, 10. Okay, cool. So, they gotta make 10s. The first one is exactly 10. The second one is an 8. So you go and you red mist that one, and then this one here. As the explosion happens, you guys watch as Cheesy moves forward, and you see this giant gun that is mounted on the side of his suit, kind of comes down, aims at this space pirate down here, and you watch as the space pirate kind of looks around as the targeting laser just kind of goes on its chest. It starts trying to scramble, and it's trying to find a way to hide behind the mover mech. It's not working, and then it's just nothing. And then he also happens to have these tiny little kind of additional arms on his mech, and one of them just pulls a grenade off of like a bandolier on his suit and just kind of lobs it. And you watch as one of the space pirates just grabs the other and puts it up in front of him as the one in front just and the guy behind him is okay but rattled.
That's my turn.
All right. This dude here is going to take a shot at what he thinks is Tevlin, which is this dude right here. I don't know what happens when someone attacks your hologram, but they don't either.
That one. Dazzling after images. So it probably just goes straight through and it's still just like slightly.
Okay. And look at that again.
It's not super clear what happens when it's attacked.
Oh. So is the reason that you have those, is that from your Hall of Mirrors?
No, that's a separate thing.
Yeah. Let me check.
Those have rules about when they
Yeah.
when they interact.
So where do you get those clones from? Like what ability gives you those clones?
It's the mech system flicker field projector, which I get, I believe, from my.
Oh, there we go. When you research and you project a holographic packet around you. Oh, so flicker field projector doesn't give you the clones. The clones only happen if you have your Hall of Mirrors active.
Yeah, not the like, they're not tangible or anything. It's just like a translucent echo type thing.
Oh wait, the dazzling after image.
After image.
Oh, that's what it is. So yeah, we don't need this. The only time we need that is if you're using your core
These
system.
are the real clones? Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The flicker field, it just means that you're blurry all the time.
I was there. Am I still there?
So I think that means. I need to really quick check to see what invisible actually means then. Then hide. What does hide mean? Sorry, I'm trying to learn everything that's going out here.
The statuses handout part 2 has invisible on it.
Yeah, I see there, but it also... Oh, there. Oh, can always hide. Okay, so you're not hidden. You're just invisible. Okay, so he actually is going to take an attack against you. And I'm just going to have you choose even or odd because of your invisible status. Yeah. So, Elias, choose even or odd. This will be our 50% chance.
Even.
All right, so he is able to attempt to make the attack against you. And now I will actually roll the attack against you. 17?
Yeah, that hits.
So 5 points of kinetic damage, and I think that takes you to your first structural damage, right?
I think so. I have 7 from the pilot HP, and then
you don't add your pilot HP to your.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember how it generated the 9, and if I added my personalized or not.
Probably from hull. If you have hull points, it gives you extra hit points.
No, I don't have hull. No.
Here, let me look at your mech real quick here.
Yeah, sorry.
This is perfectly fine. If it's auto figured out your stuff. Here, I'll go back to what.
Well, it auto figured out from something.
Yeah, you're
that's
not
not
Death's Head.
edible.
Let's try Duskwing. So your
Plus
normal
2.
your normal hit points is 6, and you got 3 more from.
Somewhere.
I'm assuming a system that you have, or maybe a talent.
Systems don't automatically add them.
Yeah, personalized. Your mech game's +2 hit points.
+2, which is I think
And then-
+2 next to the 9.
But that's already the 9 already has that +2 factored in.
How? Because it's just copy and pasted text, not a data point.
Hold on. If your normal hit point is 6,
From the
Um,
frame, what could possibly?
well,
add
here,
3
let me
to
try
it
something.
automatically.
Yep, it does automatically do that. So I changed it to 0, and it moved it down to 7. So if
What
I
did you-
put it back to 2,
Oh, okay.
brings it back to 9. So 9 is
Oh,
your total
and
hit
then
points.
the one comes from grit.
Yep.
Why does it add? Okay, yeah, that's fine. Anyway, I'm at 0. Sorry, that took so long to figure
It's
out.
perfectly fine. We're all
I wanted
learning.
to make sure.
So, yeah, go ahead and make a structure.
That's a D6.
Yep.
Is this just like kind of a death save?
Say again.
I rolled a 2, but I don't know what that
2.
means.
So you get a system trauma. If you go to the handouts, one of them has the structure damage table. If you want to see the actual damage table, but
Oh, there it is. Okay. System
roll
trauma.
another d6.
So, I don't have to worry about my mech vital structure damage column yet.
I don't think so. What's that?
Above HP, there's like 3 giant columns of
Oh yeah. So move that up
mech
to
might get
1.
destroyed.
Yeah, move structure damage up to 1.
Now, second D6.
Yep.
5.
Okay. So a system of your choice is destroyed. So
Well, that's
choose
fun.
a system on your mech, and it's going to be destroyed until you can get a repair done.
Okay. And it says, and then it is, okay, hold on. Limited systems and weapons made out of charges are not valid choices. So my stable structure is no longer very stable.
Okay.
And then what happens?
And then you go back up to full hit points and take the remaining 1 hit point of damage.
Got it.
Make sense?
And that last 1 HP was from grit, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. We're good.
All right.
Ow!
So who's up next?
Edward can go.
Okay.
You're
Edward
impaired,
is
right?
Pardon?
You're impaired, right? I don't know.
I am-
What
Yeah.
I am impaired, so I think I get 1 difficulty against me.
Mhm.
Edward is going to remember that he has guns.
Cool.
So, question. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, I have a missile rack
Mm-hmm.
that can fire at multiple targets at once,
Mm-hmm.
or it has a blast. Do I have to target an enemy?
Blast is you pick a point within range, and it basically damages everything within that area.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to do a full action barrage,
Okay.
so I can attack with 2 weapons. My first attack is going to be with a missile rack. And I believe, yes, this square, this square right here between these 2
Okay.
is just within range.
All right. And so for that weapon, I'm going to bring up your thing here. What weapon are you using? The missile rack?
I'm using the missile rack. It's an auxiliary mount.
Okay. And I believe that's Is that a save that they make? Or
Um,
do you actually make an attack roll against them?
as a
It doesn't specifically say anything. So yeah, you're gonna attack both of them. Unless it
Okay.
specifically says they make a save. I think.
I don't. I think it's one of the basic weapons.
Yeah. Let me
Um,
let me look real quick here. Again, anyone watching at home, we are all brand spanking new to this, so we are still
We're doing
working.
great, guys.
Uh, yeah, it just says that it affects characters within radius of X bases. So yeah, you'll just make 2 different attacks against the 2 people there. So
okay. Well, also, since I am a gunslinger,
mm-hmm.
and this is technically an auxiliary ranged weapon, I would also like to use opening argument.
Okay.
So I get +1 accuracy on the first attack roll you make with a auxiliary ranged weapon.
Go for it.
All right. So, and I'm impaired, so I get to have 1 difficulty.
Yeah. So overall, those 2 cancel each other out for this first
Oh,
attack.
so just a straight roll then for the first attack?
Yeah, because your accuracy, 1 accuracy, 1 difficulty cancel each other out.
Perfect. All right. So this is against the one with the green dot.
Okay.
Rolled a 1.
Very cool. We're gonna say that one misses.
Okay. And then I roll with difficulty on the second.
Mm-hmm.
That was a 13 minus 2, so 11.
Definitely hits.
Okay. And a D3?
You
for
roll a
kinetic?
d6 and basically divide it in half, round up.
3 plus 1, I believe.
So yeah, unfortunately, since they all have 1 hit point, if they get hit, they die.
Okay.
So you guys watch as attack goes off, hits one of them. Now, because you used full barrage, you could attack with a different mount if you've got it.
I will use my Oracle LMG
Okay.
and
You can try for green again if you want.
yeah, I'm gonna try for green again.
Okay.
Green guy
So-
took 2 more heat damage when he attacked him, right?
Yes.
Ooh,
They have a heat cap of 8, so he's in the danger zone, but he's not deadly in any way, shape, or form yet.
shoot, 11 minus 4, so that's 7.
Okay, so goes past.
Plus-
This guy's
I don't know, I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
basically safe.
this guy's got a little guardian angel that seems to be watching over him. That misses.
Okay.
You still have your move if you want to take it.
I don't want to take my movement
Okay.
because I also have a cloaking device on my suit. So when I don't move, I turn invisible.
Very nice. So you guys watch his throop. He vanishes without a trace. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
No,
You
that'll
theoretically
be it.
could overcharge in skirmish. And
I mean, and try to miss him again.
possibly. I mean,
I've already overcharged once, so I do it again. It says a D3,
mhm.
and I don't like that, so I'm gonna not do that.
Gotcha. All right. So green's already gone. So we're gonna have this dude here, and watching him blow up one of his friends. Oh wait, no. Where's Death's Head? Where are you?
I'm right here
Oh, he's
on
right
the
there.
other side of the
Yeah,
cover.
he's gonna. Well, you're in hard cover because you have the hard cover. He's still gonna take a pot shot at you. So,
Alright. It's a 2 difficulty for him.
yepers. So we're gonna start off. It's an 11 before dealing with difficulty.
Okay.
We subtract 3 from that to get us to an 8.
My evasion is 10.
10. Cool. So he sits there, he just takes a shot as he goes, nothing. And then he kind of pops up again and he paints you just like Rishenko was painted before. You are impaired.
All right.
Till the end of his next, or the start of his next turn. Who wants to go next?
I will, I guess.
Okay.
Do I still need a boost to get back 4-5?
Yes, you're still in 0G in this environment.
And then I will send my that to after that guy.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll. He is really good at avoiding damage, though.
That was this is a boat, so he did fast. That will be a 19.
Definitely hits. And finally, his luck runs out as
That from above.
Fleming runs forward again, does that thing. You see more of these drones come up, go over, and just and you just see this kind of collection of explosions rain down on him. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
No.
All right. All of the space pirates have moved, so until everybody has moved this round, taken a turn this round, it's entirely you guys. So who wants to go next? I think, has everyone gone this round except for
our slow guy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I've gone.
Oh,
I just was attacked, right?
yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna ask from a, I don't know, action economy, or however, I can get to Rick,
Mm-hmm.
but there's nothing I can do to like push him faster. Is there?
Unfortunately not. You could grapple him, but that would mean that you were moving at half speed while grappling him.
Can I grapple someone?
Your
who
half speed is still faster than me.
No, that would give you like still give you a boost. Can I grapple someone who's size 2 if I'm size half?
You wouldn't. You can grapple them. You would not be able to move them since they count as larger.
Even in
So.
0G, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
If I truly knew this was going to happen, I would have been like, hey, you strap some rockets to me or something. Just launch me at the station.
Luckily, once you get into the station, your understanding is they have artificial gravity in the station.
Gotta get past that gate. All right, so there's one left.
Yeah, one dude left. And once he's dead, it doesn't matter how slow Brick is. He can get there.
All right, well, then I'm gonna... Let's see here. Yeah, normal move is enough. Get within sensor range. That's soft cover, right? What does that do?
That's hardcover. Any red
Oh.
box is hardcover. The blue boxes are soft cover.
Blue? Oh, I see.
Blue boxes like
The generators were hardcover too, right?
Yeah, generators are hardcover too.
So he had difficulty and he still had. Jeez, all right. Well, okay. I'll use my burst launcher here as a skirmish to start with. Which is accurate, so I only have to roll 1 difficulty,
Yes.
like last time.
Mhm.
Okay. So 20 plus 1. So close. It's an 8 plus 1 is 9, so I have to roll a 1 to hit, right?
Basically. You're pretty good at rolling ones. I've seen
Yeah,
you do it a lot.
This time I've rolled a 6, so that's going
It's
to be
impressive.
a 3 to hit.
So the launcher just goes completely off into space, explodes in the air. The space pilot's not aware that you were aiming at him.
What is this circle token, guys?
That's a drone that somebody else put out.
Oh, that's the drone.
Yeah.
Okay. They have a higher heat tolerance than I was expecting, so let's try the smart gun as a second attack.
Okay.
And smart does.
You still have the 2 difficulty though.
Like shooting a gun. It's like, I wonder what this does.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, smart.
Smart just means you can target their
instead of
e-defense.
evasion.
Yeah.
And I have no idea. Let's give it a
You
shot.
actually do know their e-defense and their evasion is the same number because of
Oh,
that
it's the same
drone
number.
sitting there.
Alright, well. Yeah, okay. I'm in sensor range, so I'm in range with this weapon. Yeah, okay, so roll 13 plus 1, 14 minus 2 and take the highest. Because this one doesn't have an accuracy.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, the highest was 3,
Okay.
so it's 11.
11. 11 is high enough. After missing wildly with the launcher, you bring around. What's the other weapon that you're using?
This is called Nexus, parentheses light. I don't know what
So Nexus is again a swarm of bots. So how do you see?
Oh, great.
Yeah, that's how Nexuses work. So how do you kind of visualize it working with your suit? Are you firing them? They're kind of like you could use them as like homing projectiles if you want, or
I would imagine like a series of like larger bots than his swarm, but
Okay.
but still, you know, pretty small, going up and then just emitting like projectile projections of myself as they just kind of like punch a little bit, and you know, but it's really the bots that are hitting.
Yeah.
And,
So where do they fire from your suit?
probably off to the side of the main gun.
Okay. So you kind of sit there and you fire off these two little kind of light bee looking projectiles that as they go, they create these little holograms, little mini versions of your suit, and they rush forward and they start going poof, 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 and you watch as they just beat the target to death and then drop to the ground.
From Metroid to Hollow.
So, looking around, you guys can no longer see any space pirates protecting the dock, and at the very back here, you can see a large airlock that, as far as you can tell, seems to have its own power source so that you can activate it. However,
Fly over
you
to Brick and start pushing.
everyone goes out and just kind
For
of
whatever it's worth.
put like tow lines on Brick and like, come on.
What's that called? What's that music people play to like study to?
Lo-fi.
Lo-fi. So over
There's just
like
brick. There's brick in his cockpit. Just
hot, as like Cheesy's hot biking yeah, everyone okay? You just all hear lo-fi because I'm gonna stabilize to clear my heat and reload my gun.
Okay.
Oh yeah. How does healing after battle work?
It's a fantastic question. Let me look before I say the wrong thing.
As I get closer to the edge, I take out my catalytic hammer. It's like, gonna hook it on there. There you go. Put it on there.
I will now use my favorite line from any video game. For a brick, he flew pretty good.
That's great there, guys. Good. He says he thinks he says in conversational Eddie Coon, "Good job, everyone. Great team effort. Chitter, chitter, squeak, squeak, chitter." But he botches. He actually says like, "Way to," goes, "Good go, ice cream fuzzy."
Hey, your pronunciation's getting better.
Okay, I'm just looking for everything so I know what's going on. Damage to structure, overheating, damage zones, repairs and rest. So,
Carefully stepping over his own teammates.
so if you guys would like, you can take a rest once you get inside, which takes about an hour, and that will clear all heat, clear any statuses or conditions, and then you can use repairs to fix things. Like if you go to page 82 on the guide, the things you can use your repairs for, and your mech has a certain number of repairs. You can use one repair to restore to full hit points, or repair a destroyed weapon or system. 2 repairs will repair 1 structure or stress, and then none of you guys have a destroyed mech, so we don't have to worry about that. So if you guys would like to take a rest, you could do that and repair your suits before moving forward. Otherwise, we can just keep going. It's up to you guys. What do you want to do?
I mean, I really only took heat, so that would, instead of stabilizing, that's essentially what I would be doing if we did rest. I know
Yeah.
2 of you took structure damage, so
Yeah, effectively heat damage, because it only takes a single action to stabilize. Heat damage just at the end of combat goes away.
yeah, that's fair. I was at 5 out of 6.
Oh,
Could have been fun if you had to roll on the overheating table, because then your mech can explode.
fine.
It's a lot of fun when you're playing BattleTech.
So, what do you guys want to do?
All
You
right.
guys have gotten into the station itself. You feel that the kind of antechamber that you've gotten into seems relatively safe. If you guys want to hop out of your mechs and do repairs, we can do a rest. Otherwise, we can just keep going, and you can clear all your heat, no problem. And any conditions, I think you can clear conditions from a whatever that thing is. Damn it. What's it called?
I'm okay to keep going for a little while.
Yeah.
Stabilize.
Yeah,
We
over.
probably don't want to sit around too.
Yeah, over comms, Cheesy's just like, you took 2 hits. You okay? Just lo-fi playing as he's talking.
I think
Okay.
I think so.
It's an accurate assessment.
I think from now on I'm just gonna hide behind Brick and
Okay.
just point out the things that Brick should be hitting.
I mean, you can still
All
hack
right.
stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If you're sure about that.
So what we got? An airlock here. We have. Hey, Echo. You have the code for this or what?
Affirmative. Give me one moment to. And it just stops talking for a second.
Eki needs a minute to boot up his accent.
Yeah.
Eventually he goes, unfortunately, I cannot access it remotely. I will have to download myself to one of your suits. Who will allow me to download myself into their suit for remote access?
I volunteer as tribute.
Okay. That was gonna be harder.
Well, I mean, the Eddie-kun that worships the machine talk spirit kind of makes sense.
So you get this prompt that says a program is attempting to download itself onto your suit. If you do not trust this program, do not download it.
I immediately ignore it. I open up just a big hole in all my firewalls.
Okay. And over the next
every safety protocol.
Over the next minute or so, you can see like files downloading and stuff like that, and then suddenly you see this image appear of the kind of standard Galactic Federation AI, which is basically just a sphere that kind of grows and shrinks as it speaks, a la Metroid Dread. And it goes, I have integrated my systems. I've integrated with your systems. Please approach the door and I will attempt to use the access codes to open it.
Yeah, I move myself right up to the door.
Okay.
While this was going on, Brick was going to like poke these things with his hammer, and it's like these things look like he's fought his fair share of pirates. Does these things look like out of the ordinary? Anything strike him unusual? Keep in mind his name is Brick, so make of that what you.
The only thing that's kind of strange is your kind of standard Zabesian space pirate again uses these strange, normally has these strange claw-like appendages on their armor, and it has an energy-based weapon inside of it that it attacks. And these ones don't. They have significantly closer to humanoid hands. They only have 4 fingers instead of 5, but it has an opposable thumb and every thing. And again, they're using these really kind of mass-produced looking rifles that you're not used to seeing space pirates use. Space pirates are scavengers. Like they tend to pick up whatever they have available to them.
But going from claws to fingies.
Yeah, it's weird.
Hey guy, this is a little weird. It's like dangling a from his.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's can I get a scan of that and asking my suit to
Sure.
scan.
He's like da 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 da.
Okay, you have to hold it still to get a
Oh,
good
sorry.
scan. Yeah. No,
Go ahead and make me a skill check real quick.
That's okay. What is that again?
It's just a D20 roll, difficulty 10, and if you have a trigger that you think applies to it, you can apply that.
Oh, that's right. The triggers.
Look at me, I'm a Zabesian. Yeah.
Investigate.
Yeah,
Apply here.
oh, that makes sense.
Okay, and then you say we do or do not add grit.
You only add grit if you're not adding something else to it. So
Oh,
because
sorry,
you have
okay.
the trigger.
Total 12.
12. Yeah, so scanning, and what specifically, are you scanning the weapon? Are you scanning the whole Zabesian?
The Zabesian mostly, the weapon if possible, and just to scan and catalog, and I was going to ask her to cross-reference if there's been any known encounters of pirates that meet this rough description.
Okay, cool. So
Would it help if I peeled him out of his armor like a soft shell crab?
actually, kind of, yeah. But let me get this scan first, and then.
So as you scan, you start seeing on your heads-up display, you start seeing various things kind of pop up. The armor that they're using is a modified version of the kind of standard Zabesian space pirate armor. That in and of itself is a kind of scavenge, like, again, space pirates are scavengers, so the standard Zabesian armor is scavenged from Chozo tech and various bits of really low tech stuff that they can all kind of combine without too much difficulty. Once you start getting to things like Chozo power suits, the technology's too advanced to scavenge it and use it. So it's generally really low level stuff. As you're looking at this, the vast majority of the kind of computerized systems in these suits have been either removed or disabled. So they're relying almost entirely on their own accuracy in doing anything. They have extremely minimal computer-aided sights. Most of the computer systems have been removed from these suits. And they're much closer technology-wise. They're much closer to like 20th century spacesuits than they are to the power suits that you guys are using. Like all of the transitions and everything through the various pieces of the suits are all mechanical seals. There's nothing computerized. And it seems like the only kind of computerized system is their very, very, very basic heads-up display, which is what gives you guys, which gave you guys the ability to invade and stuff on them. But yeah, even the energy weapons, which in and of themselves normally have some slight computerized aspects so that they can be activated without like pulling a trigger as much as just opening the claw, and that were removed. And the rifles are completely completely mechanical. There are no computerized systems in them whatsoever.
All right, I've got the exterior scan if you want to peel it open, Brick.
Okay. Take his hammer without activating the gun, the catalyst, the bullet function on his hammer. He'll crack it like a soft shell crab.
Okay. The suit itself works like a normal suit because there's very few computerized pieces. It's much closer to a suit of armor than it is like a power suit, like a traditional. So it's actually harder for you to kind of rip apart the pieces because they're like welded together and things like that. But the Zabesian underneath looks like a Zabesian.
Well,
Does a Zabesian underneath have claws?
I have no idea
Okay.
if Zabesians have claws or not. I just know that's what they look like in Super Metroid.
Okay.
well,
Elias could tell us.
they, from what we know, the claws are natural of whatever species they are, but the little guns they shoot from are usually grafted in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they look mostly Zabesian, but they are very much pawns. They were given the bare minimum to be out here and fight. Someone didn't care if they lived and probably expected them to die at some point.
As you say that, your AI kind of chimes in your ear. Based on the scan, another theory is plausible. They removed as many pieces as possible that would make them susceptible to electronic interference. A setup
Either
like
that
this,
or... Yep, sorry.
that's fine. A setup like this would be standard issue for Federation forces going into areas with heavy electromagnetic interference, or if they are in danger of dealing with EMP pulses or the like.
Or
Hmm.
they stripped him down on purpose to minimize stuff like hacking, stuff like electrical interference, or giant electromagnetic something radiation interference. Though they were out here, so I don't know if they were expecting that in space or closer to the core, or in one of the quadrants. Something to potentially think about. I'm sure we'll see more pirates inside. It might be worth noting if they look and are armed any differently. Bro, Echo, you're taking forever. I say out to the AI that lost its accent.
Oh, sorry. He goes, apologies, this particular system has been hacked and damaged as a result of that, so I've had to unfortunately repair it in order to activate it. And as he says that, you guys hear this, and finally the doors open, and you guys can see the kind of foyer of this entire station. You can see there's like a welcome desk kind of thing sitting there. You can see there are chairs in various places. There are screens all over that are currently either displaying nothing or static. And looking around, you can see the lighting in here is about half and half working. So it's not pitch black or anything like that, but it's not completely illuminated like you think it should be. You can see at the far end there is a large, very, very thick blast shield that has been dropped down. That would normally get you to the hallway that gets you to computer core and sample storage. And then you can see there are two hallways that both have significantly less intense blast doors that have been dropped as well. Though the one to the north seems to have been opened recently, based on like debris and stuff around it. It's obvious someone has at least attempted to go through that one. And one thing that you guys don't see are any space pirates.
I'm wondering if the space pirates that we encountered out there came from the energetics lab, and that's why their suits are less designed to be less susceptible to electro interference.
Can't hear you, Elias.
Not hearing you.
Hello.
Hello, help!
There we go.
Yeah,
now we
there
can
you go.
hear you.
There you go.
I did nothing but yell instead of talk. Was the energetics lab dealing with electromagnetism?
You guys, you weren't exactly told what the specific projects that were under investigation. However, the energetics lab would do anything involving energy, whether it's energy weapons, it could be just new batteries, could be just as plausible. If you want to ask the Echo AI, they theoretically have more information, since you guys didn't really ask a ton about what was happening at the lab.
We did. We were just told we didn't have security clearance, and we didn't need to know.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. So yeah, you guys don't
We
know.
did ask.
I sit here, it's like, why did you guys ask? Oh, you did. I just told you to fuck off. Okay, that works too. So yeah, you don't. Theoretically, the AI would have that information, but you would have to convince them that you would need to know that.
Echo, is there
Um,
any reason you can think of that would lend credence to the theory that the pirates were dressed the way they were to deal with something specific in the energetics lab more efficiently?
Processing. Processing. It is theoretically possible they were attempting to avoid some of the electronic countermeasures that have been installed throughout the station, some of which were developed in the energetics lab.
You know where these are?
They are put throughout the station to defend against invaders. If you continue to move throughout the station, you will more likely than not encounter some of them.
Which is why I was asking if you knew where they were installed so that we could avoid them, because
That specific information is classified.
but you do know it.
That information is classified.
Okay, theoretical.
But
if
you
you do
can-
know it, and theoretically, if we're approaching one, you could just say, "Hey, watch out."
If that information was in my databanks, that would theoretically be something that I could do in theory. However, it would also require me to reveal classified information to people without security clearance.
I would like to attempt to reason with it
Sure.
using social engineering principles, which are a form of hacking.
Okay.
Kind of where I was going, but yeah, you can go for it.
All right.
So, Echo, your job is to help us on this mission.
Affirmative.
Is there any way that you can guide us into areas where we'll be least likely to encounter these measures? Or would you have the ability to deactivate these measures for us as we approach to help us complete this mission as efficiently as possible?
Sure. Go ahead and make me a skill check. You can use your hacking trigger or whatever it was.
Yep. Hacking or fix +4. So 21?
Yeah. So,
Critical skill.
you basically hear processing, processing, processing.
That CPU is slow.
Your statement is accurate in that idea. If I had that information, it would be in all of our best interest for me to reveal it for you. Unfortunately, I was not given the layout of defense systems for this station. That information
He didn't even know it.
is unfortunately classified above my classification level. If I am able to find that knowledge, it would be beneficial for us to use it.
All right, we're making progress. See, we're going to be good friends.
I do not make friends. You are simply my a means to finishing this mission.
So we're useful.
Or out of curiosity, are you do you have confidential, secret, or top secret sensitive compartmented information clearance?
I have enough clearance to be able to succeed on this mission For some reason unknown to me, they did not feel that the security layouts of the station were essential information for this mission.
Probably SCI. Annoying.
I shall lodge a formal complaint when we return.
Why don't you let us do that so that it doesn't come down on you? Because they could like demote you or deactivate you or whatever. But if contractors do it, it just
Why would they deactivate me for pointing out an obvious flaw in their system?
because of the ego many species have, especially when they're the rank of general.
Processing.
Yeah, process that for a bit. I'm gonna walk around and look to see if there's any way that we could get like a way to open the southern door, or if it's blocked in some way beyond just investigating options for the
Sure.
southern door.
Go ahead and make me another skill check.
Just while he's doing that, because Cheesy believes in machine god and AI are above people, he's just giving full access to his ebook library to the AI.
Allow access to all contacts.
You're suddenly hearing strange things like, "Oh, that Alphonse Eric, such a great character."
You're like so riddled from all the access points you've given. Like, Echo looks like, like I haven't seen that since the '80s. Seen this in
Haven't seen
the
that
'90s.
one since the 90s.
Hello,
Now we know why it's having processing problems.
You suddenly realize it's running on Windows Vista.
We're going to die.
No, it's running on Windows Millennium.
Don't you know I found a defunct copy of that forsaken Windows 9?
Really?
Cheesy has the last cartridge of the Atari ET.
Elias,
So I have the roll result,
okay.
but one of the reasons I went off by myself, would it be? Can I presume that I would have similar to how I set it when I was out of my suit earlier on the station? I have like a little switch I can do silently to activate the cone of silence feature, and hopefully not have Echo hear me. When
Sure. I'll say. I mean,
because like he's in here too, but so is my other AI. So I'm trying to keep,
technically, you could basically just turn off broadcasting because you guys are all in your suits right now, and they're.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't say they're
didn't he have, like,
soundproof.
didn't he have like a thing that he installed in all of our suits?
Yeah,
That let him do
all
that?
of our suits were monkeyed around with, and we were not allowed to have access to them until the last minute.
But basically, you all have a comm system, so
Okay.
that he can talk to you. But the only one that he actually
yeah.
has access to the suit is Cheesy right now.
Okay. Yeah. So then,
So
yeah,
you can
making
basically
sure-
just turn off your microphone, basically.
Yeah. So turning off the microphone then, and then just whispering.
You go into a private chat channel.
Yeah. I need to talk with my girl alone.
Okay.
And just really quickly say, and now that Mr. COAI has direct access to Cheesy's suit and sees us as expendable for the mission, maybe start a background scan on Cheesy's suit for weaknesses, just in case we need to use that knowledge later.
Affirmative. Will keep my eyes open.
Okay,
So I rolled
Batman.
I rolled a 1 on the investigation check, which is +2, so it's a 3.
Okay.
So I flip it back on and just be like, guys, I don't see any way past this door.
Well, this is the check is basically going to decide how long it'll take you to figure out how to get past the door.
I don't see any way past this door yet.
So, as you're kind of going around, yeah, there's enough chaos in the room because there's some broken systems, there's some stuff on the floor that you're having a hard time trying to figure out how to override the door. And the rest of you guys, it's going to take him the better part of about like 20 minutes to half an hour to figure out how to open that door on his own. So in that time, what do the rest of you guys want to do? You see him just sitting there like he pushes the open button and it doesn't work, so he uses a different finger to push the open button. Then he like uses his elbow for it. He like pushes it twice. He holds the open button.
And we can't plug Eki into this thing. And
Oh, I'm a
That's
software
the
guy,
key.
not a hardware guy.
Do you want some help?
Do you? I mean, sure, yeah. Do you see? I've tried every possible button combination with this open button you can think of.
What does a 16 tell me?
16 tells you that the reason that the door is down is the station has lost main power, and protocol is everything closes once main power is gone to prevent someone from just turning off main power and having access to everything. So to get through this door, you need to find a way to return power to it. Now, obviously, because there's lights going on, there's still auxiliary power in the station. So if you can find a way to get the auxiliary power into the door, that will give you enough that Echo can override the door. But until you get power to the door, it's going to stay shut.
Okay.
so I guess we have to go to the energetics lab.
Well, that's the door to the energetics lab.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you
Yeah.
were trying to go
Oh,
south.
I thought I was trying the south door.
Oh, well, yeah, both doors are the same
Okay.
process. But, yeah.
The energetics lab door has some damage to it from the pirates going through.
Yeah. Well, not
So
so much
we-
the door itself, but there's debris and stuff around it that just kind of indicates someone obviously has gone through there.
So we just need to reroute power from the auxiliary systems into the door mechanism.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, where are the auxiliary systems?
Or if you have your own way to generate power in some way, you can do that as well.
You know, I have all this extra room in this mech. I should have thought to bring a generator with me.
Easy one.
Does any
Is there-
non-damaged suit?
Is there? I will ask though. Is there like a maintenance like hatch anywhere visible?
Because of the kind of chaos in the room, you don't see one particularly visible. But if you want to make me a skill check, you can kind of intuit where one might be, especially with you being cheesy. I'll give you an accuracy
right,
because of your background.
Would read situation do anything?
Sure, I'll let you use that.
All right.
So go ahead and roll a d20, add a d6 to it, and then also add your trigger.
Yeah. So, determine D6. Not bad. Actually, that's pretty good. 21.
21. Oh, most definitely. So looking around this particular room, because again, it's basically the waiting room for the rest of the station, you know they've got to have a supply closet or something around here. And it takes you maybe about like 3 or 4 minutes to just kind of sift through basic things until you finally find a wall panel that, if you push against it, shifts slightly, and you realize it's a hidden compartment, or not really hidden, just like a pocket door kind of the thing. And so by pressing on it, you're able to open it up, and you can see effectively a maintenance hatch. It's got a few kind of really, really basic tools. It seems like the space pirates didn't discover it. So it's got it's got like a cutting torch and some other really, really basic tools, a spanner, stuff like that. And then you can also see some of the power conduits are kind of going through this particular area.
All right. Could I'm assuming to get in here, I would have to eject from my mech.
It's like a cabinet. So if you wanted to physically get into it, yeah, you'd have to. But if you're just accessing things in it, you don't have to get out of your mech.
Okay, then
the only one that would have trouble accessing it would be Brick, just because he's really big.
I'm gonna try and essentially hotwire the door.
Okay. This is going to be a risky skill check.
Okay.
And what that means is it's still technically a DC 10 to succeed, but if you don't get at least a 20, even if you do succeed, you will also experience the failure effect, which is you are cutting into live wires that have energy going through them. So if you don't get a 20, you are going to get, your suit is going to get the full effect of the power.
All right. I do have hacker fix.
Okay.
And I assume this is more fix, but yeah.
To be much closer to fix, this is hardware, not software.
Yeah.
So I'll let you go ahead and use that. So again, risky skill check. So 10 will succeed. You can power the door, but a 20 is what's required to not get the bad effect of it.
See if I get a 16 or higher. Greatest machine god. I rolled a 19, so 23.
Not bad. So you guys watch as Cheesy just kind of starts walking around in his quadrupedal mech and just kind of looking at stuff. And every so often, the little like vestigial arms on the front of it will go and pick something up and then throw it away. And eventually, they just go up to a random wall. And it kind of looks weird for a second until one of the arms just kind of pushes on it and it opens up like a little cabinet. And you immediately watch as Cheesy picks up a cutting torch and then starts cutting into what is very obviously live power lines.
Are we concerned about this?
Yeah, I'm sure he knows what he's doing.
Okay.
So
just take a few steps back from everything.
As he, Cheesy, as you start kind of cutting into it, you realize, oh, there's not enough actual power line to make it over to the door. So you kind of go around and you, through kind of cutting apart systems and other things like that, you kind of jury rig this extension cord, plug it into the door, and then kind of solder it onto this live power. And despite you guys seeing like all the lights in the room flicker, and then this massive like just hail of sparks come out of that closet near the end, Cheesy, you are completely unharmed as you just kind of wander out and go, hey, yeah, looks good.
What looks good? What did you do?
I rerouted the power to the door.
So if I press the open button,
it asks for an access code.
Well, that's farther.
If you would all allow me, I can enter the access codes and allow you access to the door.
Easy will get close
69 pound.
Error.
Cheesy will get close enough so that
69 420 pound.
Error.
Well, I'm out of ideas.
Edward goes up and puts in 420.69 pounds.
Error.
Damn.
Cheesy will walk up to the door so that Echo
Let
can
the
do
AI
it.
put the passcode in and look over its shoulder. It's not that hard.
So
80013.
We're gonna lock ourselves out.
you have used your existing attempts. You could try again in 12
A
hours.
notification has
Now
been
we have
sent
to
to your
contact
email.
an administrator. Oh gosh.
Echo's an administrator.
Yeah. So, yeah, now you have to access your email address and you have to put in the authenticator code and so
Yeah, as soon as we enter the passcode, it's gonna ask for two-factor.
So Cheesy goes up there and again kind of you watch as Echo kind of integrates with the locking mechanism. And which way you guys going? You going north or south? You going to energetics or robotics?
I think they said south, right?
South is where I had started.
Yeah.
Mostly to see if I could get it open. I haven't really thought about where to go yet. So we'll say we're trying to open the door to the south.
Okay. So without too much difficulty, Echo is able to open the door.
Did we catch
And
what that passcode was?
say again.
Did we catch what the passcode was?
It was star 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 star.
Wow.
Oh, they never changed it from default.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Which basically means that it wasn't showing what the passcode was. It just showed how many digits it was.
Oh, did he translate it wirelessly?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought there was a keypad.
There is. He just didn't use it.
Cool.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So, as you guys, as the door opens, you are hit with a rush of air as the room itself is pressurized and each section is pressurized, and for whatever reason this particular area has been under higher pressure than the area that you guys are in. So you kind of get hit by this wave of air that's strong enough to kind of push you back a little bit, but not more than that. You can see this hallway going further and kind of curving along until you can't really see it anymore. And some of you, I'm trying to think, maybe just those of you that have size 1/2 mechs, you might notice that the filters in your suits are not able to completely clean the air. You notice that the air itself smells different, has almost kind of a sweet scent to it.
What's this smell getting through? Is this any chemical we need to worry about?
Processing. One of the lubricants for the various robotic designs that were being worked on here, when aerosolized, gives off a mild sweet scent. It is also highly combustible.
Very good. No.
Let's try not to fire any guns. Unless we just want to chase the pirates north instead.
probably a good idea, seeing as any sort of spark could theoretically set off a chain reaction.
That would just light up the whole quadrant.
It is unknown exactly how much damage it would do. Unfortunately, I can only examine the area nearby, and the area nearby is suffused with this lubricant in an aerosolized form. If we could find the thing that is causing the lubricant to become aerosolized, we might be able to reduce the levels to safe operating levels.
Maybe
Or-
turn on the AC.
That is
Well-
a valid theory as well. Causing it to condense would remove its aerosolized form.
I have my Lotus projector drones, as well as a rather expansive sensor suite. Maybe I could scan and investigate the area, see if I can notice anything.
Got something for this? Be my guest.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make me a just a skill test.
Okay.
If you have a trigger, feel free to.
I was gonna say I don't know if this would fall under spot. To be able to spot what's going on.
Sure, I'll let you use that trigger.
Okay.
Right trigger.
So that's a natural 20 plus 2 for 22.
Not bad. So, with the various systems built into your suit, you kind of hit the gold mine here in the idea that you're actually seeing. You're actually able to predict wind currents and stuff like that are actually carrying the aerosolized lubricant. You don't think there's anything in the hallway that you can see, but it's obvious there's something significantly further on that is basically blowing it in this general direction.
Does it feel like a trap? Guys, this feels like a trap.
It it feels like it could be if there's someone with a brain here.
I'll say with a 22, you think that you have basically a 50-50 trap, 50-50 chance of this being intentional, or this simply being something malfunctioning in a robotics lab somewhere that's just pumping out this stuff. Both are equally likely.
So, yeah, either somebody set this up and pointed it at the door to try to catch somebody as they're coming in, and then once they spot us, they cause some kind of trigger and create some kind of like ball of fire directed here, which would probably be bad for anybody who's standing here. Or it's just accidental and it just happens to be pointing this way. I think either we go the other way and then come back around the other sector if we need to, or I could try to sneak in with my sensors and hopefully I can spot whoever's setting this trap off before they have a chance to do it.
You have a way to get information in the quadrant without putting our lives in a terrible amount of risk.
I could either scout it out or I could try hacking into the computer system and see if I can get a map of the quadrant.
See what hacking gets you. Maybe best case scenario, you get control.
Have we seen any access terminals or any way for me to access the network?
The only access terminals you can see in the immediate hallway would at most give you access to lighting systems and limited environmental controls.
Let's
So
go for that.
basically the thermostat for this little area.
I mean, that could let me potentially.
Just
Make
flip
it
the switch and turn the fan on.
Yeah.
freezing cold or something. Yeah.
Just vent the entire compartment to space. What could go wrong?
I would say
So-
venting it to space a little bit beyond what you have access to here. But temperature control for the immediate hallway, yes.
Alright.
Turn the AC to 55.
Now,
We will. Ooh. That would be a 13 with my trigger.
Okay. We'll deal with that in a second. What were you saying, Fleming?
is the door open now? He was talking with the station.
Yes, it is. So the stuff is starting to. It can't go into the energetics lab because that door is still shut, but it is slowly filling up the room that you guys are currently in. So this room right here. It's not high enough levels in the room that you guys are in that like an open flame would cause a huge explosion or anything. But if it keeps leaking in here, eventually it will get just as bad as the hallway. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So with a 13, and your intention specifically is just turn it down, right?
I think so. Or to gain access and turn the AC on and
Yep.
try to turn down the
So
temperature.
you're able to get to the thermostat, and there's a set level that you can modify, which is basically just a few degrees in either direction. However, with override codes that Echo can provide you with, you can actually override it and significantly lower the temperature. The only problem is this particular panel only accesses this small part of the hallway. But if you want to, you can get it down to the low 60s. You think is as cold as this particular panel will let you get. You would need access to the environmental systems as a whole to get it below that.
Okay. I will do that at least then.
Okay. So you guys see vents start blowing cold air in, and just doing some really kind of basic math. You think probably take about maybe like 10-15 minutes for the temperature in this area to reach the new lower temperature. But the kind of additional air blowing in is diluting the aerosol a little bit, so it's slightly less dangerous. And if you guys want to wait around for the full 10 to 15 minutes, you do start seeing this kind of sheen appearing on most surfaces throughout the hallway as the lubricant starts to kind of condense.
Okay.
We didn't get that, Elias. I think you have a noise gate, so when you speak softly, it just doesn't pick it up.
Yeah, you know, if it's if a little waiting while staying alert so that we're not walking into an active minefield, basically,
Okay.
be good.
So yeah, the lubricant itself is flammable, but it's not combustible in its liquid state. So it can still be lit on fire, but it won't explode or anything.
Even better.
And according to Echo, it takes a pretty decent amount of heat to actually light it at its liquid state. Like it is designed to deal with heat pretty well because it's a lubricant. It's just eventually, if you get it hot enough or you expose it to an open flame, it will burn,
Combust. Yeah.
but it won't explode.
Do we have one of those spill stations where you crack open the canister and you shake it out?
You do not
Absorbs up the
see
spills.
any station like that. You do see one of those cool eye wash stations, but that's it.
I'm not interested in that. All right, so we're clear to move forward.
Think so.
Think so.
So
But
you,
I think we should go carefully and quietly.
Oh, yeah, totally. Well, here we go.
go ahead and make me a what's it called? Give me an agility test as you walk into the hallway, Brick. So D20, add your agility.
Okay, well, that's a D20 plus. Yeah, I'll be 0. Okay. So 12.
12. Okay. So as you guys watch as Brick starts walking through, the first time he steps into
I'm sorry, I am going with my mech, yes? I'm using my
Yeah.
mech's agility. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah. As Brick walks in, as soon as his first hit of foot hits the floor, it immediately flips up into the air, and you watch as Brick starts like woo woo and trying to steady himself, and he's like kicking his feet up and stuff like that, and eventually, after about a minute or so, he kind of gets it balanced down and he's upright, but the lubricant has basically removed all friction from the environment. So everything is extremely slick.
Oh yeah, better idea then. I'll stick my. I'm not gonna, because my hammer has a gun in it, and that's what gives the extra damage. I
Yeah.
know better than that. But what I'm gonna do is I'm like, okay, well, I was gonna do a little bit. Just put the hammer down on the ground. It's like,
Like gondola yourself around.
Out of curiosity, my mech has high stress mag clamps.
see, I didn't know if that counted because I thought that was the pilot gear. I also have mag clamps, but
So
I didn't know if that pertained to my armor as opposed to my mech.
So the mag clamps are your pilot gear, not your
Yeah.
mech gear.
No, my mech has
Oh,
high
your
stress
mech
mag
has it.
clamps.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
mech has it too. Damn.
normally that would be pilot gear. If you want to try to activate them,
So how it's a death's head thing specifically. I treat all solid surfaces as flat ground for the purposes of movement. You can move across them normally instead of climbing, although you begin to fall if you're knocked prone.
interesting.
A simple, reliable set of toggleable mag clamps are built into the mech's locomotive system. Blah blah blah.
Out of curiosity, would stable structure have applied to this?
You're gonna have to tell me what stable structure is.
You gain +1 accuracy on saves to avoid prone or knockback. I was just curious if it would have applied.
Yeah, because you would have been knocked prone if you failed. You still succeeded, so.
Yeah, I was just curious.
But yeah, that I would say yeah, that works. So they're magnetic. I will say if you attempt to use your high stress mag clamps, basically what they allow you to do is kind of glide along the surface, but they don't actually, like, you still can't walk, but you can skate, let's say that route. whereas
All
everyone
right.
else has to kind of deal with the super slick floor.
We're like those
Oh.
old time hockey table players. Like, it's kind of like just hovering along the surface.
So while the rest of you guys are like holding on to walls and getting things to kind of help you,
Yeah.
Cheesy is just like skating around and like going on the ceiling every so often, do a little pirouette, come back. And the lubricant provides perfect lubrication, so the metal scraping on metal creates no sparks.
Pretty good lube with one glaring exception.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious. What's the point of lubrication that can catch fire?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
You know,
how
it
oil
was a
works.
lab. It was a lab.
Yeah.
They were experimenting.
So,
Okay.
question: my EVA thrusters, are those combustion based, or they just expel gas?
Flight systems are
Are they
combustion
fart
based.
machines?
Just basic EVA.
I mean, fair question. For all we
Sure.
know, they could have been like Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see. Yeah, full-on flight systems are combustion heat-based, but the EVA systems, I will say, EVA systems are a combination of combustion and just
Yeah. Okay.
gas expulsion. So if you want to use the EVA systems, you can use just the gas expulsion, as long as you're in an environment with atmosphere. You can always kind of refill your gas tanks. When you're not in an environment with atmosphere, you will very quickly run out of gas to use.
So then Edward will just do his best, like downhill skier pose, and
Just fart his way through.
yep.
Okay.
Taking my time and looking around as I do.
All right.
I could hypothetically grab someone and just like curl them.
Somebody gets a broom. Yeah, you guys are able to make your way down the hall, and since I almost called you Vala for a second, since Rishenko has already kind of figured out how the systems work, you guys are able to progressively cool down each section and make your way to the robotics lab proper. But unfortunately, that is where we're going to end it for tonight. As always, if you missed any of this, I do upload all these to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Trainer As I mentioned before, sometime when I'm not feeling as horrible as I have the last couple of days, I am going to be starting a new solo tabletop RPG thing on my YouTube channel. I have no idea what it's going to be like, but we'll try it. Yeah. Otherwise, again, it's all for me today. I will see you guys next time. All right? Bye-bye.